Well, hello and welcome back to this week's question of the day. I hope you all are excited and interested and having a wonderful week yourselves. Hello, Pickle Friction. Hello, McClar. What's up, AI Alicia? Hey, Drano Max. What's up, Antisocial Cupcake? What's up, everybody? Will Q. Hey, how are you? Pickle Friction. Hey, it's Thighs. It's a party now. It's a great week. That's good news. It's been a week. Let's just say that much. It's been a week, but here it is, coming close-ish to an end, and we are here with what we call the question of the day. And I'm kind of excited about it. It's a lot of really cool people called in this week to ask me questions. It's the 15th time we're doing the question of the day, and this time around, I get to answer the questions instead of me asking the questions. They're going to ask me questions, and man, I somewhat skimmed these questions this time, but there's a few that just came in, like literally just came in the last 10 minutes that I didn't even listen to yet. So, I should probably have reviewed them, thinking of the people that called. But hey, it's all good. It's all good. We're just going to listen to them, and we're going to go on the record, off the record, but on the record. And we're going to... That was weird. Congrats, Drano Max. You're off for the next 10 days. That's wonderful. Pickle Friction's dancing. We're going to rock and roll. All right, so let's jump right in. First caller. I'm not going to write these down this time. I'll just try to answer them on the fly, I think.
My question of the weekly, month, day of yesterday, today, for you is... Have you ever been a dog proctologist?
Have I ever been a dog proctologist? How was that? Was that loud enough for you guys, by the way? Maybe I'll turn this up just a smidge. I hope that was loud enough for you guys. I didn't actually see. I got 5 days off after tonight. You guys got 10 days off after tonight. Jesus, I work tomorrow still. I only have literally Tuesday off. That's it. I should have maybe taken some days off. I feel like that was a J question. A little quiet. Okay, I turned it up a little bit. Have I ever been a dog proctologist? That's a good question. I could consider myself potentially a cat proctologist. You have to use the volume boost 15% on my stream. My plant is doing a shutdown, so I don't get paid, buddy. Oh, really? Oh, you're saying my stream is quiet? Okay, I'll turn up my stuff a little bit. I've never heard that before. So why did I say a cat proctologist? Because I remember one time I had a cat who would eat the tinsel off of the Christmas tree, and the like it would poop it out, but it would be dragging around tinsel out of its butt, and so I had to pull it out like this. And I was pulling and pulling and pulling, and it was just disgusting. Poop-filled tinsel. So is that close? Was I a pet proctologist? I guess. Kind of. Maybe. Oh God, yeah, that's a real story. That was my cat Batman, actually, who was one of my favorite cats growing up. Yeah, great visual. All right, all right, let's go all the way. I think it counts for sure. Well, I hope you had a bucket handy then. I'm kind of gonna fucking puke. That's awesome. All right, next caller.
All right, flipping the table on you this time. Question of the week for you, my friend. What is one game,
Well,
no
twist,
matter how many
rattle, and
times
roll.
they
That
re-release
sounds
it, or
Packers.
reboot it, put it out there on various systems over the years that you have to buy and have to play no matter what? You're never content to let a new release go, even if it's the same release as before. You can look at examples of how many times Sonic the Hedgehog has been released, or any of the Mario games, anything like that. What is one game that you can't say no to? It's kind of like, what is your catcher in the rye that you have to always buy a copy when you see it?
Well, that's a great question. Will, thank you so much for the cheer points. I love that did the audio thing, twist, rattle, and roll. That's just Packers. Dang. Good question. So that's a question from our great friend Rob McCallum. The first question about the dog proctologist, by the way, that was Thighs. Hey, it's Thighs. So... question, you heard that, I hope, Ring Fit, right? That's what you got to do, is you got to cheer, and then you get well, twist, rattle, and roll. That's just Packers. So okay, I feel bad hearing no one answer their own questions. I thought we were supposed to talk about it. No, I mean, you can do whatever you want. It's all good. It's all good. I don't mind that your message was 19 minutes long, Pickle Friction. It's all good. I'm kidding. So, what's a game series that I constantly keep coming back to? Now, obviously, there's new Zeldas every 5 to 6 years. There's new Mario games, new Sonic games. Like, there's always going to be, um, there's always going to be new game series that constantly keep coming out for new generations and for fans that want sequels and whatnot. But I would say one game series that I constantly keep buying, and it's no matter how bad it is, how shitty it is, I've pretty much got them all, and that's the King of Fighters series. SNK came out with what, 14 last year, or maybe it was 15 last year. I bought it. I bought every single one when the Dreamcast was like on its waning days after it's nearly dead. I remember buying King of Fighters 2000 and 2001. 2000, 2001, and I think even 2002 came out on the Dreamcast. I buy King of Fighters games. I'm not even that good at King of Fighters games. I just love the lore. I love the story. I love the soundtracks. It's always King of Fighters. So like the PS5 version of King of Fighters, I think it's 15. I own it. I own King of Fighters 14, 13. I don't actually know if I have 12. Was there a 12? No, I'm confused. Oh, but those are all different games. Yeah, they're sequels. I mean, okay, you're talking about remakes. Or was that what Rob was talking about? Okay, so that's a game series that I constantly keep buying. If there was so the remake of Super Mario RPG. Oh, I think Mario RPG's that new remake looks really good. Drano, yeah, I think that's gonna be awesome. Games that get remastered that just keep coming out. I thought he said re-release of the same game. Oh, okay, my bad. I wasn't understanding the question. I was all excited about the twist, rattle, and roll. That's just Packers. So what's a game that gets remade that I keep buying over and over again? So that's a thing. I don't know if I have. What? Mario Brothers and then Super Mario All-Stars, I guess, would be one. Re-release of the same game. I'm not big on remasters, though. I'm not big on like buying all the Sony stuff that's come out and the Halo Master Chief Collection, stuff like that. I'm not really like, yeah, I don't know. That's a terrible question. Jeez, I mean, that's a terrible answer. My answer is I don't know. That's the worst. God, I'd have to look in my collection. What's a remake? What's Oddworld? Oh, Oddworld's good. Yep, the Oddworld, the fresh and tasty version of Abe's Odyssey, and then there was the newest Oddworld, which was a brand new game. You know what? I would buy if they were made. I guess this isn't really an answer, but if they were made, I'd buy new Contra or Castlevania games. I'm a sucker for old Spyro, Legend of Dragoon. Yeah, but if Legend of Dragoon, is there a remake of Legend of Dragoon? I don't even know if there is one yet. Yeah, I don't know. I got a bad answer. I buy King of Fighters games. I bought King of Fighters 98 on the Neo Geo, on the Dreamcast, and the PlayStation 5. Does that count? King of Fighters 98? That's like one of the best games ever made. So, yeah, I don't think the Legend of Dragoon ever got an HD remake or anything, but I mean, okay, so re-release, not remake. Oh my God. Are you listening to it or something? Shovel Knight. I own Shovel Knight on the Wii U. I own Shovel Knight on DS. Or I did it one time, own it on DS. I own it on the Switch. I own it on Steam. Shovel Knight. Is that good? Is that a good enough answer for you? Classic Confusion. No, they re-released it for PS3 and the first handheld Sony, and then PS4. Oh, good. Fireworks are going off outside. That's fun. I guess next week is the 4th of July. I bet you $5 my kids come running downstairs now. I bet you. You're looking out for the caller. Thank you, Pickle Friction. I appreciate it, man.
Dad, do you not see that?
I do.
It's over there.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's right out in front.
You can hear it. See it. Look at that. Dad, come on. Dad, come on. Come over here. It's so pretty. Dad, come on. Dad, come on.
Hey. I know. I can see it. Pretty cool. That was super cool. Sorry, there's fireworks going off outside. Now my daughter's yelling outside. That was so cool. That was a big one. All right. Let's go to the next caller. Yeah. Shovel Knight, King of Fighters. I rebuy those games constantly. All right, here we go.
And whoever did that, thank you.
And he is like, and whoever did that, thank you.
All right, I have a question for you. What is a video game that you will go back to and play over and over again? Like one that you'll pick up when you're bored or just feeling nostalgic and want a little dopamine hit from that nostalgia. What game would that be for you?
You're okay, sweetie. That's our good friend Matt Pigeon. He asked me what game was one that I'll keep going back to and playing over and over again. There's just so many. But ones, now if I'm instantly thinking what comes to my mind, Lords of Thunder on the TurboGrafx, the old June 28th celebration. The Lords of Thunder on the TurboGrafx Super CD. Roller games on the NES. I weirdly love that game and I constantly go back to it. Batman on the NES. There's 3 games right there. Doesn't even need to be a good mood, bad mood, whatever. I go back and play those games constantly. You're a Battletoads guy, Pickle Friction. I know that. I'm not good enough at that game, and I get too frustrated later on. But like roller games, Batman, Lords of Thunder, those are like playthroughs. They're just like, I need to clear my head. It's like, for me, playing those games is like going for a run, and I'm a runner guy, so. I thought I saw lightning outside. What the hell? But yeah, those kind of games, those are like therapeutic for me. It's like I'm in a bad mood. I need to listen to my Joe and Mac. Ooh, that's a good one. I'm not as good on Battletoads. You know that, Pickle Friction. We played Battletoads together. We at least played Battletoads and Double Dragon. I'm seeing lightning. Yeah. Oh, I bet that's fireworks. I'm an idiot. You just can't hear it. You just can't hear it. Nice dopamine serotonin. Yeah. It's fireworks. There's like a ton of smoke off in the distance, and I see fireworks going off. Why is everybody doing fireworks on a Thursday night? It's not even the weekend yet, guys. All right, let's get to the next caller. That was Matt Pigeon, by the way. I think I already mentioned that, but.
Well, greetings. You've asked for your question of the week, and the question is for you. And my question for you is, when are you going to play Deadly Premonition? It's very funny.
Yes, that was our. It was a mystery caller, was it? Or was it Dragon Master Dan? He is asking. So it wasn't last year. It was like 2 Christmases ago. He had messaged me and asked if he could send me a mystery Christmas gift. And I said, sure, yeah, that'd be cool. And he sent me Deadly Premonition on the Xbox 360. And he has been wanting me to stream that for so long. Ironically, I think I'm pretty close to being able to stream HDMI capture device game systems like the Switch, PS3, 360. There's so much noise going on outside. This is ridiculous. Anyway, so Deadly Premonitions. It's on the queue. It's not on that list there, which Nightbot just shared. That wants me to play East 4, Vegas Stakes, Crusader of Senti, Dragon Force, Earthbound, Phantasy Star, or Celeste, Hunt Down, or Shovel Knight. But Deadly Premonitions is after all of those. I seriously do have a queue of games that I'm going to get through. And Deadly Premonitions is on the list, so I promise I'll get to it eventually, before I die. All right, let's get to the next caller.
Yeah, all your newfangled stuff. Oh, God. Question of the day. Yeah, this is old Gus. I know a guy named Peppa Pete. You may think he's called the pepper there because of the table ingredient you put on your mashed potatoes. That's not why old Pete got his name, Pepper Pete. Hell no, he got caught with his pecker in a pepper. Might want to be saying there in your head he got himself in a little bit of a pickle, but he was actually in a lot of bit of a pepper. Anyway, I'm a sidetracking here. Back to that old question of the day. What was my favorite GameCube game, is your question? I know nothing about that newfangled shenanigans, because, here outside of Erie, Indiana, There's weak vaginal walls and even weaker Wi-Fi signal. So I guess I'll just reckon be answering your question with, how good am I at horseshoes? Well, golly, I have 4 of them little shiny trophies sitting up there on that wall. Good enough to get me laid on the occasion, I reckon. Anyways, yeah, you got your game show here, and I reckon you do mighty well at it. And I'll be seeing you up on down the road there, poker.
Oh God, what's my okay? Thank you, old Gus. So that is a what's my favorite GameCube game? Oh man, this is kind of a cheat because it was also a Dreamcast game. But I played a ton of Phantasy Star Online episodes 1 and 2. I played a ton of PSO on the GameCube. The GameCube was wonderful because it was the first one in the series of the PSO series that allowed for multiplayer. And so when do I have this one? Hold on. Wait a sec. Wait a minute. Oh, I didn't share this one yet. Oh my God. When I played it on the GameCube, that was the first one that had split screen. It had everything. It was basically the entire game that was on the Dreamcast, except for it had a whole nother episode of a whole nother game included in it. And not only that, but the 4-player split screen was so well done because you could go anywhere within the world that you were in as long as you were in your 4-player party or whatever, just like you would be if you're playing online, except for it was split screen. Now you'd have to have a really massive TV to play it and be comfortable playing it, but it was so good. It was so good. And we had I think at the time, this is GameCube era. God, what is that, 2003, 2004? So we had a nice big rear projection TV. It was actually a really, really high quality rear projection TV, if you can believe that. Wasn't exactly HD, but man, on the GameCube, it looked great. So yeah, we had a pretty slick TV. So I liked playing PSO on the GameCube. I actually really preferred it, and I started to wear out the trigger on the left trigger, the L trigger on it, because that was your camera. And so I always used to when I play PSO, I'm always the type that likes the camera directly behind me. And you need to center that camera constantly. And so I remember wearing that out on the GameCube controller. And I'm not a GameCube controller fan at all, but I loved PSO on GameCube. I thought it worked really well. It was super, super fun. So yeah, thanks Gus for that one. All right, let's see who is up next. Let's go to our good friend Matt Turner.
Hey Josh. So your question of the day gives me the opportunity to talk about my favorite subject, me. I'm joking, but I would like to know, and I'll give you my take on this after I ask you the question. Look back as far as you can in your memory and let us know when you first came across or first started getting excited about or first heard about or first read about the TurboGrafx 16. I can remember mine. It was the Castleton Mall in Indianapolis, and one of the previous question of the days I had mentioned this mall as well during my answer, during my answer, and the famed electronics boutique. I can remember being in one of those. I remember it plainly because we would always enter the mall through JCPenney. We never went through the main entrance. And as soon as you exited JCPenney into the main area of the mall, if you look to your left, an electronics boutique was the very first store. And it was always a joy to go into. But I remember seeing a TurboGrafx 16 set up in there for play. I think they may have had 2 set up. I think they had 2 separate game stations set up. One running Keith Courage and the other one running Legendary Axe. And I was just in love at first sight. I thought Keith Courage back then, of course, and arguably does not hold up as well nowadays, but Man, both of those games, I was just super excited for that system when I saw it running in person. I don't remember if I was aware of it before that visit. I may have been. I just don't remember. It's been too long ago. But I do remember loving Legendary Axe. For some reason, when I finally played it again after decades and decades of not ever seeing it, I always remembered it looking better than it did, oddly enough. And it's a good looking game, but for some reason, my memory of it, the graphics were just amazing in my memories. But because I actually didn't get a TurboGrafx until 2009, because I was a Sega kid back then. So I went the Sega Genesis route and subsequently Sega CD. I had Nintendo consoles, but I was a Sega geek. So, but yeah, that's my question to you, Josh. What do you remember about the TurboGrafx 16 at the very beginning, at the earliest of days? Thanks.
Wow, that's a great question. Thank you so much, Matt. So, oh man. Okay, so I was always curious. You knock it off, McClar. Sega is not supreme. I'm sure Pickle Friction will agree with you, though. I loved the original TurboGrafx and the ads and stuff. I remember reading up a lot about that, but I didn't really know what the difference between that and the Genesis was. I mean, Genesis had Sonic, and Genesis had a lot of cool stuff like that. And then the Turbo had, like, the TurboGrafx CD had come out first, and that was the first game system that had the Turbo CD. But, like, I remember in, like, 1991 or 92 when the Turbo Duo was starting to become announced. And they were talking about the PC Engine Duo, and then they announced the release of the Turbo Duo in the US, and that was, I think that came out in 1992. And I remember seeing like full page ads for Gate of Thunder, and then they were talking about games coming soon like Dungeon Explorer 2. Now I'd seen Dungeon Explorer 1 initially, and I thought, well, it looks like Gauntlet, but I've always heard it had more role-playing game elements and stuff like that. But they announced Dungeon Explorer 2, they announced Dungeon Master on the Turbo CD, and I liked the Super Nintendo Dungeon Master. So I was like, this is really curious now. So I used to, like, about 1992 to 93, when I would get a new Electronic Gaming Monthly or Video Games and Computer Entertainment magazines, I would specifically flip through them to see when the Turbo stuff would be announced. And usually, almost every month, it was always happened. There'd be like 3, maybe 4 pages total of Turbo stuff. It'd be like one game reviewed, if even that. There'd be like 1 or 2 ads. There'd be like a little bit in the end. What's up? How's it going, Retro Hitch? My good friend. You were just talking about and gaming on some PC Engine today. I watched you play, what was it, Final Court Tennis or World Court Tennis? I think it was the quest mode on that. So today we're talking about the question that was just asked to me is, when did I first fall in love with the TurboGrafx or the PC Engine? And it was when the Turbo Duo was announced. I just loved the design. I thought it looked sleek as fuck. And I thought, like, it was like a Bomberman 93 full-page ad where it said something like maiming your friends had never been so much fun. What's up, Aurora Demon? How's it going? But, like, what was it with the ad? It said maiming your friends had never been so much fun, and it showed the Turbo Duo, and it showed the multi-tap, and it had 5 controllers sitting there, and then it showed Bomberman, and I was looking at it, I'm like, this doesn't look all that much better than the Super Nintendo. Holy fuck! That scared the living shit out of me. Okay, I should put my headphones down. Whew! I love that the sound alerts are working now. But that scared the balls off me. Holy shit. Okay, I'm back. Wow, that's two sound alerts tonight. That's great. Oh, no, you're good. Thank you. I appreciate you for coming. I feel so good that you joined up and you're following. I love it. That's great. I love it. PC is the console I loved for over 30 years before I finally got to play one. Oh, playing one, the love was not misplaced. Ooh, I'll do some stretching. Yes, I'll stretch my wrists because I'm keyboarding all day. But seriously, thank you, Will Q. Unless you need more animated stretching. Oh, yes. This is the stretching. That was awesome. If you follow or subscribe, you will trigger some of those sound effects. But so when I saw the Turbo Duo Bomberman 93 ad, that's when I like became super interested in it. And I remember I saw the Lords of Thunder full page ad. Gate of Thunder had one prior to that. But when I saw the Turbo Duo, it was that system that was like, this looks so great. I'm glad that scared the shiznit out of me. But I loved the way that the system looked. It was so sleek, and that was it. That was it for me. And there's like a long story that I've told before on the stream, but like when I initially got my very first job ever, I got my first paycheck, and I'm like, I'm going to go to the store. My mom's going to take me there, and I'm going to buy an Atari Lynx. And when I got there, I saw the Turbo Graphics section, and I was like, forget about the Atari Lynx. I'm getting a Turbo. And the long story short, I wound up going home with a Turbo Duo, and I'll never forget that moment. It was like I was just sitting there in a nervous sweat. I could not wait to get home and try this thing out, and it is perfect. It was just the perfect game to bring home. I got the Duo, I got Gate of Thunder, I got East Book 1 and 2, I got a handful of like cue cards. It was just this perfect day. I believe it was even a Friday night. So like I didn't sleep that weekend. It was just so gorgeous. It's just a perfect time. But anyway, it was the Turbo Duo. I liked the Turbo Graphics. I really did. And now I've learned to love the Turbo Graphics. I love the PC Engine. I love all that. But the Duo, it's the Duo. It's just the way it looked, the way it felt, everything about it. I was completely enamored with it. And I got my Turbo Duo in 94. So it was 2 years after the Duo had come out in the US. It was also the last year of Turbo Graphics games in the US. So like all those big games that came out, Might and Magic 3, Magical Chase, what other games start with Magic? No. But Dynastic Hero, Riot Zone, it was like those last few waning games that came out. Legend of Hero Tonma. I'm not a big fan of that one at all, but like all those games were like super, super rare and few and far between. So it was like, oh man, I would love to experience all of those all over again at some point, but that's it. That was when I just fell in love with the Turbo. It was like, that was it for me. And I've never, ever felt that experience again. There's been other game systems that I've enjoyed. I love the Saturn. I love the Dreamcast, here and there. But really, that Turbo, that experience, there's nothing like it. It was just perfect. It was so much fun. So thank you, Matt, for that question. That was a really good one. Let's get to the next caller. It's Gamester81.
Hey, Joshua, what's up? This is John, Gamester81, and question for you is, what is your favorite movie based on a video game? Thanks.
Oh, shit. Okay. This is going to be cheesy, but I honestly think it's the new Super Mario Brothers movie. That might be the best video game movie ever. That might be the best, but if we're talking favorites, ones that I love to go back to and watch for their overall craziness, the Mortal Kombat movie was excellent in 94, and then really, really bad, but really, really fun. Super Mario Brothers, okay. Yeah, 1993 Super Mario Brothers. I love that movie. It is obviously not a very well-made movie, but it's really good. I love that one. Well, Cool World's a great movie, but that's not a game-based. That game was made because of the movie. But for real, and I'm not kidding about this, Double Dragon. Like, I sought out Double Dragon on Laserdisc just to own it. Like, it's so bad, but it's so good. I remember one time we were locked up in my house because of a really, really bad thunderstorm, a tornado. No well-made, but great. Yeah, not well-made, but great. Yeah, there was a really bad tornado warning in our house, and we went downstairs. There was no internet. Everything was out, but the electricity was still working. So I made my entire family watch Laserdisc Double Dragon, the movie. And we all were sitting there like sipping our hot cocos or whatever it was in the basement. It was so fun. And I didn't know that about Cool World. I thought it was the other way around. No, Cool World was a Ralph Bakshi movie, actually. That's one of his last movies. I love Cool World, but the game that was made based off of it, like the game wasn't very successful at all. So there was no way they were going to make a movie based on that. But yep. For real, just like Bebe's Kids. Bebe's Kids, the movie, had a game based on it, and it was really, really weird. What's this? Who is this? Who is this little child coming down here? Hey, Bubbles, what's up?
Hi.
That's cool. Thank you for that lesson. Hi, what's up?
I want to make a show.
Oh, okay. Well, we're answering questions. People are calling in and asking. I got a lot of questions to go through still. Holy moly. All right, let's get to the next caller.
There was no question week sent to me, so I'm going to ask you the question this week. Mr. Joshua Turbo, if you had to choose between saving the life of one elderly human or saving 12 indie gaming projects,
Oh my god.
which would you choose and why?
Did he just ask me if I would save one elderly person or 12 indie developers? Is that what he just asked me? Well, of course. Hold on. So indie developers' lives or their careers? Hold on. Let me hear that again.
There was no question week sent to me, so or between saving the life of one elderly human or
The life.
saving 12 indie gaming projects.
Thank you,
Which
Buttspot.
would you choose
Okay.
and why?
Obviously. I think it was indie game projects. Okay. I love indie games as much as the next guy, but I would never allow a human being to die. Buttspot. The pro butts. Nice one. Yeah, I would obviously save someone's life. You would save the game projects. Oh, that's terrible. But that's someone's grandpa or grandma. You know, no. I would never risk the life of a human. No way. No way, no how. No way, no how, yeah. That's what elderly folks do. They just die. It's all good. All right. Next caller.
The question I want to ask is, how did you get involved with video games? Was it somebody that inspired you, or did you kind of just decide one day that you want to try video games out? That's my first question. The second question is, what is your favorite video game of all time and why? Thank you.
That is an awesome question from Ash, who is a
It's not
longtime listener.
intense. It's not an intense question.
Oh, it's an intense question. That's an insane question. What made me get
No,
into
I mean,
gaming?
like, would you rather
Is that
kill your mom or kill your dad?
okay? That's
One of those. Like sacrificing people. That's what I meant.
well, we're not sacrificing people to save indie projects, Ania.
Yeah.
No, we're not. We're not going to do that. That's not a thing.
Yes, it is not.
Correct. It is not. Okay, so what age is the elderly person? That is a big factor in the answer. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We're not saving indie projects. They can all die. We're not allowing anybody to go. And then we'll find out that the elderly person wound up dying the next day anyway. So all those projects ended for nothing. This is my daughter, Ania, by the way. Say hi, everybody.
Hi, Nana. Hi,
If they're 100, let them die. Oh my gosh, that's terrible. I'll say 65 plus. Dude, I'm only like 20 years from 65. Knock it off. You are horrible.
This Willie Q914 is kind of a savage.
He's kind of a savage.
Yes.
Why?
Literally. Let him die.
Terrible. Terrible. You guys are great. Just great. So you'd save a 97-year-old terminal patient instead of the project's meanie head on indie projects. Projects are all probably just Minecraft shader projects anyway. Like I said, 65 plus seems fair. Yeah, I won't do it. We're not killing anyone, guys. We're not killing anyone to save game projects. But Ashley asked me what got me into gaming, and I could tell you it goes all the way back to when I was 5 years old in 1984. There, I just told you. I'm an elderly person now. It was the Christmas of 84, and I got a Tandy color computer. This stream got butt. Someone clip that. Buttspot, what is your man? This stream got butt. That's great. We aren't doing the killing, we're saving the person though. Oh, great. Yeah, we're going to save the person and kill the projects. All right, you don't exactly have to be the one doing the killing. I don't care. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to do it. If someone's going to do it, welcome to the club, Will. We've been expecting you. Thanks for subscribing, Will. That's super cool. Look, we're above our expectancy. And remember, nobody ever has to subscribe to this channel ever. Like, don't. This content.
Yes, you do.
This content.
Turn into hot dog.
Oh, you turned it. Oh, we're going to do that again. It's all fun and games until someone brings up moral dilemmas. This is deep. This is a deep question. I didn't realize it would get so deep.
Pickle.
Like you're thinking pickle. You could just be turning a blind eye. It doesn't matter. I would never be able to live with that.
That's
Say that
not
person.
good thinking.
A wild small child. What's up, Godsfire? How you doing, my friend?
My small child appeared. Next caller.
All right. So anyway, yes, Ash had asked what got me into gaming. It was the color computer. It was a Tandy color computer, and it was the game Downland. So
No,
Downland.
Just your favorite game.
I know, but the question was what got me into gaming. It was definitely Tandy color computer. It was definitely Downland. It was an amazing experience that would like got me hooked on it all. I always knew about video games and I knew people had games and stuff, but I didn't really know what it was. I knew arcades and I was like infatuated with our old arcades and stuff like that, but that Tandy color computer and the game Downland was the best thing I'd ever experienced in my life. And it's such a hard game. But the exploration would just go on and on forever, and it was just so much fun. As for my favorite game of all time, that changes with my moods. I can't answer that one. I'm sorry. I just can't say what the best. Your daughter is the future of Kick, mate. I'd say Twitch, but I doubt it will last another 5 years. Ha.
What does that
True.
mean?
You're the future of Kick.
What is that?
It's the new Twitch. Retro Hitch is predicting the next thing will be called Kick. Unless that's just a footy joke. Are you playing footy? Footsie? Football? Football?
What if Buttspot makes one of the words of our sentences? But
It's a crypto scam,
it
kid.
could do.
All right. Yeah, it's a new crypto. All right, let's get to the next caller.
Pickle.
Kick is a streaming service? Oh, I had no idea. That's awesome.
Like the thing.
Oh, great. Well, then I'll have to create a Kick account, I guess.
Just click it.
What's up, Joshua Turbo and chat? How's it going? Pickle Friction here again. And, yeah, it's time for the question of the week. You know, the question of the week. The one we do weekly, not daily. Yeah, seems like we're flipping it and just asking Josh a question, which is sounds good. So, here's my question. What genre, at some point or another, or even still to this day, have you found to be the most intimidating? Like maybe one that you find interesting, but you're kind of like, it's a little intimidating looking at it from the outside, but you might want to try it, or maybe you have tried it and you haven't been able to really figure it out or get into it. A lot of the genres that I find really intimidating to this day are like RTS games, and maybe like anything that's like some sort of like tactical or very serious type of JRPG. I find those really intimidating, particularly like RTS games though, and strategy games like that are very in-depth, you know, like Hearts of Iron, which is more turn-based. Yeah, not exactly RTS.
Your command, master.
Search and destroy.
Anything like Command and Conquer, StarCraft, all that stuff, I have a hard time figuring out how people just like are so good at being able to move. They're constantly moving around the map and being able to micromanage so many different units and things like that. They're so fast at it, and it just seems so over my head because there's just so much to those games, you know. And even when I have played them with friends, you know, we're very casual and we're just kind of having fun. But as soon as a friend would come over and they were the type of person that it just clicked with, it was just all over. There was nothing we could do. Like, there was no beating it, you know. I just could not figure out how people are so good at managing so many different aspects of a game, you know.
Sure.
Very, very on the spot, you know what I mean?
Basically.
And the turn-based ones could be even more, you know, crazy, you know, with how some of those older ones and like older era ones, Genesis 16-bit era style, like Koei games and stuff like that, can be brutal. I never understood like how like they can be so hard at the beginning and what you're supposed to do. I played somewhere just the other weekend. We played one, and it was like the first stage, and we moved troops and surrounded one unit, and like the game would show that our stat was like, oh, we got a 90% chance of success, and then the unit just destroyed. The one unit killed all of our stuff, and it was like stage one. So they're very hard, I think. So that's my answer, at least, is yeah, like real in-depth strategy games, you know. And as far as JRPGs go, things like QotD have always seemed really intimidating, and just those really, they seem very in-depth, very serious man's JRPG, you know. Those have also been very intimidating. But yeah, let me know what you think, and chat. Let me know what you guys say about your intimidating genres or what you'd like to try. And thanks for listening, and I'll catch y'all later. Bye, everybody.
You're the captain.
That was spectacular. Thank you so much, Pickle Friction. I love your freaking questions, or your responses to the question of the day. It's awesome. And it is the age-old debate. I was distracted by the music. What did he say? He basically said, what genre of video games intimidates you? And I would say this is a great experience right now.
Intimidate me?
It means kind of scares you. Like, what's a type of game that scares you? I'm Pickle Friction, and chat, join me next time and check me out on my new podcast,
The game
The
that
Pick
scared
Frick.
me is it's a board game.
It's a board game? Board
Kind
game?
of a board game.
Board
It's kind
games?
of a game. I don't know if it's like a game. It's a budgie board.
Ouija board?
A Ouija
Oh yeah, that's intimidating. Yes, you don't want to play with a Ouija board. That's very true. So games that that I think are intimidating. I agree with the real-time strategy games. I think that big life sim type games get really, the free game section on Steam scares me. Hey, that's true too. But like those like life sim games, like the Sims, the Civilization games, like when you see the broad spectrum of it all and you see all those options and stuff, I just look at it and I'm like, I don't even know where to start. Like you have to like get an education while playing these games because you have to learn so much about it. And
College
like
scares me.
college scares you?
Yes, you have. It's pretty much that you like they try to get you to pick a direction, pick a side.
Yeah. Are you ready for college?
No,
Are you going to go to college?
maybe.
Okay. Well, I hope so.
I hope so too.
Okay.
Well, I kind of hope not, but.
Well, you got a long time until then, so more than 10 years. So you'll be fine. But yes, college can be intimidating, but hey, the intimidation of the whole thing, those kind of games, real-time strategy is a big one. I look at games like Final Fantasy Tactics, any of those war games. I think when I look at an RPG or like a Japanese RPG, a JRPG, or just role-playing game in general, Skyrim is intimidating to me too. Like, I don't know how people can look at that and say like, oh yeah, I've got like 1,000 hours into that game, and it's like, oh my god, like where do you even start? I want Josh to try and play the new Lord of the Rings Gollum games. It's so broken. I've seen it just break people. But yeah, I'd say games that are just massive are intimidating. The Disgaea games, is that or the what's shoot? It starts with a P. Shit, they just came out with the 5th game. Panzer General, etc. For me, I'm just like, okay, so this is war. What do we do? Yeah. Well, Retro Hitch, you play a lot of really like in-depth games, but those are like for the ZX Spectrum and stuff. But like the Football Manager games, those kind of games that have a lot of like in-depth and strategy with that. At least back in the ZX Spectrum days, they weren't like super in-depth, like crazy in-depth where you're like running the entire franchise. It's like, oh, the water bill is this much. Like, I just can't imagine all that stuff. But like, yeah, sometimes those sim games get a little intimidating. I'd say real-time strategy games get intimidating. Thanks again for the hydrate. I appreciate it. I actually got to get a refill. Can you get me the water that's by the fridge or in the fridge? Like a bottle?
Okay.
Thank you. You're so sweet. You're so, oh my god, everybody's redeeming sweat. Jesus, what's going on here? Thank you guys for the hydrations. I'm getting it. We're working on it. You guys are hilarious.
Here you go.
Thank you, sweetheart. You're such a beautiful little contributor to life. That was hilarious. Thanks, guys. Well, I got an entire bottle of water here, so let's drink it up down. When in Rome. Yeah, I'm going to put it in the ice water. But I would say taking Joshua Turbo to the water park, I guess. Very true. To the water park.
Water park. I'm still going to go swimming, and no matter what I do, it's still going to go swimming.
Yes, we get to go swimming this weekend. It's going to be nice out, so yes.
This weekend?
This weekend. Pardon the crunches.
Wait, is this today the week or the weekend?
Tomorrow's the last day of the week. All right, so thank you for the hydration, everybody. You guys are amazing. Mucho gracias. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'd say games that are intimidating like that. Why can't I think of the name of the series? It's like the 5th game just came out. The character Joker is in it.
Dad?
It's not Disgaea. Why can I not remember it? Something with P. Anyway, yeah, it's Batman. Thank you, God's Fire. There's like, when I looked online, I'm like, oh, it's a free game of the month. So I'm like, oh, maybe I'll jump into this. That'd be really fun. And everybody's like, oh, it's 110 hours. Like, that's intimidating. What the fudge, man?
You sound like a Disney character.
What the fudge? What the
Literally.
fudge? Those games that are too long are intimidating, I think. All right. Let's get to the next caller. Pickle Friction Man, that's
This
it.
is the last caller. We're not doing any more of these.
Next caller.
It's too long.
What's up, Josh? I see for your question of the week for the Game Huggers is reversing it and throwing a question to you. And, well, I was just having a friendly conversation with some of my old local media co-hosts in town here, and we were talking about what was our favorite edutainment game. Could be recent, could be old, could be classics. Go back to Carmen Sandiego, Time, World, United States, North Dakota, Oregon Trail, Number Munchers, maybe some McDonald's game, maybe some Mario Teaches or Mavis Beacon Teaches typing varieties, or even Mario Paint or SimCity. What was your favorite educational or more colloquially known, better known to us old school gaming types as edutainment games? What was your favorite of those you have played over the years? Peace out!
All right, that was our good friend Dale from the old Retro Minute, or Retro Recaps. Retro Recaps from the old Mojo Weekly podcast. You remember those. Those were a lot of fun. It's been over a year since we've done one of those. I miss that a lot. But Dale, good friend, Magical Dinosaur Tour, great. I was going to mention that, and I was going to mention, he mentioned Mario Paint. So Mario Paint is a cheat, in my opinion, because man, is Mario Paint fun. Mario Paint's wonderful creativity. It's great for animation. It's great for the music. It's great for the bug splatting game. Like, I love Mario Paint. Oregon Trail is another great option. I hated Mario is Missing, by the way, because I did not realize it was going to be a edutainment style Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego style game. So I remember playing that and being like, wow, I am extremely disappointed. Wow. I only played the Fly Swatter game in Mario Paint. I love Mario Paint. So if we're going to consider Mario Paint to be an educational game, it's Mario Paint. But otherwise, outside of that, I'd say like Oregon Trail. Remember, you will not float in the river. Magical journey on this of the Zoombinis. Hunting is key. What you doing? You coming up here?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what are you doing?
So people can hear
Yeah,
me
I'd
better.
say Mario Paint is #1, and then Magical Dinosaur Tour on the TurboGrafx.
The reason why I came
Awesome
up here
game.
is so people can hear me better.
Okay, everybody can hear you just fine anyway. But
Well,
I love
they
that
can
game.
hear me like as loud as they can hear you.
Okay, wonderful.
They
All
can
right.
hear you very loudly, and they can hear this side kind of. Like
Okay.
this.
Okay. All right, let's get to these last couple here. Ready? Here we go.
I'm not going to do nothing today, so I'm just gonna be so hype. Don't tell Dad I told you this.
Shush. All right, here we go.
Hey there, I'm here to ask my weekly question of the question today. And my question is, what part of your next game to play on your stream being Chrono Trigger are you excited about? Is it A, playing Chrono Trigger, B, you and I playing Chrono Trigger together, or C, A or B? Let's go with B. This is hard. Tests, I don't do well at them. Thank you.
That was great. Am I excited about playing?
Mr. Packers.
This is a tough one. I'm very excited to play through Chrono Trigger. I've never played through it. I think I was like 7 or 8 hours into it at one point. Played it on my Ouya using RetroArch on it, playing some Super Nintendo games on
Wait,
it.
what did you play it on?
Ouya.
What is an Ouya?
An Ouya is a wonderful little game system. It's the size of a Rubik's Cube.
Is it called a Wii?
Nope, just Ouya.
Ouya?
Ouya.
Ouya?
When you turn it on, it goes Ouya.
Ouya.
Ouya. I like Ouya. I really did. And when I was like super hooked on Ouya, I had XBMC running on it, I think. No, wait. Yeah, at one time I had my house networked using my Xbox, the original OG Xbox, using XBMC, which was connected to a Windows shared folder with like 300 gigs of music. So I could play music with the awesome visualizer. The Xbox, the original Xbox has a great visualizer on it, by the way.
Gets it. Please stop calling me. Just call me Ania, okay? Just call me Ania.
Call you Neil?
Ania.
Oh, Ania, that's your name.
Call me
But yeah.
Ania.
Okay, Bubbles.
Call me Ania.
Okay.
Call
Okay, so the original Xbox has a really good visualizer on it if you're into that. You like playing music CDs and stuff, and you can watch the cool graphics and stuff. I love the original Xbox. It's probably my favorite Xbox console. Well, the 360 is pretty great. The 360 library is better than the original Xbox, but the console itself is not the best. But anyway, so then I had the Ouya in my house, and I was playing through... Ouya. I was playing through Chrono Trigger on it. I played through a bunch of games on it. Because it was set up in my kitchen, I think. I never got one of those Ouya things. Regret that now looking back. I almost had 2 Ouyas actually at one point, but I had one in my kitchen with a nice smaller TV. And while I was doing dishes or playing games or cooking or doing dishes or whatever, I used to play Chrono Trigger. That was the only time I've ever really gotten into it. I don't own Chrono Trigger. I think I might have had it on the Final Fantasy Chronicles or Final Fantasy Anthologies CD on the PlayStation 1. Hey, stop it. But anyway, yeah, so Chrono Trigger I'm excited to play. Never played through it, so I'll be playing through it for the first time ever once I get a couple hours into it. But all right, let's get to one more caller here. Hey, cut it out.
Hello, Alex here from the City with a Point. And this week I have to ask you a question, so this is going to be a good one. I debated whether it was going to ask you something video game related or if it was going to ask you something else, and ultimately decided I have to ask you the question I got written up at work for. So, a little bit of backstory. I work at a factory, and the entryway to our department, we have a big whiteboard, and we'll have the kind of question of the week sort of thing on there, and it'll have tally marks. So as people come and go, dropping off things and picking things up, they will put down, their answer to the question, who's going to win the game, or, which one of these ice cream flavors do you prefer, that kind of thing. I had one on there, and the company VP was coming through on a tour. He saw it, and he was very unhappy. To put it lightly. So he talked to my boss, and I got a write-up for basically violating company standards.
Wow.
Which I disagreed with, but ultimately he's the big boss, so his word was law. So anyway, here is the question. I'm going to let you decide whether my punishment was warranted or not. But here we go. This is a little bit more fleshed out than the one that was on the whiteboard, but here we go. Joshua Turbo, you have been on a grand adventure of a vacation to the Gold Coast of Africa. You have seen the culture. You have gone to the cities. You have seen nature. You have seen waterfalls and caves and great forests and all kinds of cool stuff. And your tour guide who's taking you to all these great places says, oh my goodness, we have to go to this awesome restaurant owned by my friend. He takes you there. The friend is this great restaurant. And the friend is like, oh my goodness, you're the famous Joshua Turbo from Twitch TV. Oh my goodness, I have to make you something very special. And so he gets together and he has this special dish they only make for the rare occasions when they've got celebrities or something in town. And it is roasted baboon. Now, for this, it is going to taste good. It will not make you sick, but it is actually roasted baboon, like actual monkey. So the question here is, will you or will you not eat roasted baboon? And explain your answer, because I'm really curious to find out why people voted the way they did when we ran the poll. And I guess as a bonus question, do you think I deserve being written up for this one? Or was the VP of the company just, being kind of sour about this whole eating monkey business? Thank you so much, sir. And to all the rest of y'all, have a great night.
Oh, this is a deep question. This is a deep question. I'm not going to get cock-blocked ready to rock again. So I'm putting the headphones down. All right, so should you have gotten written up for it? I don't know about that. I don't know. I guess, would you eat a baboon was the question on the board. Yeah. Would you eat a baboon? Yeah, I don't. Gosh. Okay, so I don't think you would have gotten written up. I don't think you should have gotten written up. I think that at the very least it should be like someone talking to you, or if anything, if it was, if it was really violating company policies or whatever, like, okay, sure. But I have a hard time with the idea of eating any kind of an animal that it could be considered a pet. So I don't like eating cats. I would never eat a cat dog. I would have a hard time eating a horse, even though cow is, virtually another farm animal. Maybe the VP was vegetarian, maybe. So I have a weird thing with certain animals. I will never eat a frog. I think frogs are disgusting, so that's one thing. But as far as monkeys, primates of any kind, baboons, apes, I probably would never be able to, just because, there's like a specific line that's kind of drawn there, and also, like, it's kind of alarming. Alligator burgers, for the record, my direct supervisor was down to eat the monkey without any other context. Oh, okay. So, I don't think I would. It's just, I don't know. I was vegetarian for 2 years. Well, 22 months. I missed it by 2 months at one point, and I was getting so used to not eating meat that I kind of started to get like a weird, not a queasy feeling, but a pretty close to a queasy feeling about chewing on meat. It was kind of a gross feeling. But now I'm eating burgers and, hot dogs and steaks and everything every day. So really, I don't have any qualms about eating chicken or pork or meat of any kind. So, but I think a primate or I'd not eat a primate unless starving. Okay, yeah. But if you were a hot dog, or starving, would you eat yourself? The $10 million question. Hi, schmoops. But yeah, I don't think I would. I don't think I could, and I don't think I would do it. So I would not eat a baboon. I won't eat something I can high five, was what our logistics lead said. I like that one. Oh, yeah. True. I can high five a cat or a dog, so I suppose that's true. But all right, guys, thank you so much. What part of the ape are we talking here? All right, let's get into this. What part of the ape are we talking here? There's places that eat monkey brains. It's too far for me. You know what? It might honestly have something to do with the old series, the Faces of Death series from the old VHS tapes you could rent from the nasty section. The heart may be good, maybe. As Quint said, the head, the tail, and the whole damn thing. The bright red booty might be tasty. Wow. I just found out something about pickle friction. I don't know.
If Buttspot said that, it'd just be...
The bright red buddy might be tasty. Planet of the Apes, we could stop that in the tracks right there. Yeah. Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know. The head, the tail, the whole damn thing. I don't know. I don't think I'd be able to do it. It'd be like eating a human with fur. I don't think I could do it. But then again, I guess it depends on who's prepared it and how it's prepared. Is it a part of a stew? Is it something I wouldn't necessarily be able to even tell? Would it be something I'd eat and then I'd be like, well, that was delicious. And they'd be like, well, guess what? That was baboon. So I'm so weird about meat. I just can't eat weird meats.
Baboon?
So no monkey, squid, shark, camel, alligator, etc. Nothing weird for me. I've had squid and I've had shark. I've never had camel, alligator, or monkey. Keep primates off the plate.
I had never had seafood before.
You've had seafood.
Well, I have, but I don't like
Fish sticks are seafood.
Well, I don't like seafood.
So Hitch has had kangaroo steak, he says tasty, and horse was okay. Interesting.
I don't like seafood.
Well, I could have had horse while I was in Japan 3 years ago, and I passed on it. You have camel jerky at your house, Joshua. Wait, that's right. From Jim Peck's when you guys were there. Oh, man.
Prosciutto. What is prosciutto made from?
It's like pork. It's a ham.
It's a pig.
And kangaroo jerky. Well, So I guess those are things we'll have to try. We have whale in the freezer. That's going to freak some out. If the kangaroo asks to fight and I win, I would eat it. And alligator jerky. Okay, I've never eaten alligator, camel, or kangaroo, but apparently we've got jerky. We've got all sorts of jerky from the time you guys all went to the Jim Peck's, the zoo. Great. Awesome. Well, apparently, as long as there's not baboon in there, as long as there's no monkey or primate jerky in there, I'm good still. I wouldn't eat a baboon. Dang it. That's what I'm sticking with. I'm not going to eat a baboon, and you can't make me.
What's a baboon?
A baboon is like a monkey or a primate.
Why do you not want to eat a monkey?
I guess kangaroo is a safer bet. I
Dad,
don't.
why do you?
I already said why, because you can high five it. You can make friends with it. It could, it's like pets. I wouldn't eat cat or dogs. So I wouldn't eat a monkey. I'm weird with that though. I probably wouldn't even eat a raccoon. Wasn't eating camels
Raccoons
linked
are
to the horrible disease in the Middle
adorable.
East years ago?
Raccoons are adorable, but they do miss lots of things.
I'll ask the guys at the factory. Hey man, you're doing your part. I worked in a factory for 8 years.
Dad, what if someone just gives you some food and they say, "I'm not telling you what it is," and you eat it and it's like, "Oh, this was delicious."
Do it all caps too.
And
Put
they were
that
like-
on the board and then be written up again. That's against our policies.
But you ate a kangaroo.
I think I ate cat once. Local Chinese when I was a kid got closed down a week after. We had some for household animals. Wow. And AI Alicia says, well, at least you know what to avoid next time. That's spectacular. All right. Well, that is this week's question of the day. Thank you to everyone who participated, sending us all sorts of fun and exciting questions.
Yeah.
I feel like we did a good job.
Just, you don't need this. This is no one wants. It's like they just want you to go to the game. It's like they're bored of colors.
Excuse me? You just said nobody wants to hear this?
No one. I don't. I don't like the colors.
Well, we're done. We're done with the callers.
Okay, that's good. Kind of being savage today.
You were kind of being savage, that's true. All right, thank you guys so much for listening to this week's question of the day. Love you guys all. Just word it better if you had to. Would you consume a kangaroo to save your life? Oh, that's true. All right, love you guys. PC Audi 5000.
Retro